Hi, my name is Dustin Farr and I'm with Agrowplow Canada. Throughout the 2012 growing season, we've been following a crop of canola that was direct seeded into an old Timothy stand with an Agrowdrill, with an AD500. And just here to give you another update on where that crop is at. We did our first update as far as stand establishment and germination. Then we did another update at time of cabbaging in, when that lot of vegetative growth, and looked at it then. We actually skipped the flowering stage, and now we're actually in the pod stage, and basically this crop is ready to cut down. It's at the stage where the producer's probably going to swath it within the next 4 to 5 days. And just wanted to kind of show you guys exactly what's happened with this crop. So just to recap, the crop itself was direct seeded into an old Timothy stand. That old Timothy stand had been in place for seven years, somewhere in there. In the fall of 2011, the producer burnt that Timothy down with glyphosate, a heavy dose of glyphosate. Then came in the spring and direct seeded canola with an Agrowdrill. Didn't work the land, didn't do anything to it, basically just went in and direct seeded. Put a heavy dose of fertilizer down with his canola seed, and got excellent establishment. And as you can see from the crop around me, just had excellent results as far as what's come up here, and we're hoping, a conservative estimate, we're hoping to get 30 bushels to the acre, somewhere in there for this canola crop. But I just wanted to show you guys, as you come down into the canopy here, it's definitely your average canola crop. It's pretty thick, but as you can see, and looking through there, we did get excellent stand establishment as far as numbers, as far as number of seeds that germinated and actually produced viable plants. The other thing we want to show you down here, of course, is that thatch layer. So you got your old leaves of your canola plants that have died off, and basically you're looking at that thatch layer. That's that Timothy that was there. And it's all just breaking down now. That's just turning into organic matter and just adding to the entire soil profile. And in talking to the producer, I know he did mention that through July, through I guess end of June, middle of July, we did have a pretty good hot spell of weather where it was 30 degrees and extremely humid. The average daily temperature was right up there. And lots of humidity, of course lots of thunderstorms. This crop itself actually seemed to dodge a little bit of the hail. We can see where it's been touched a little bit, just some white marks on the outsides of the pods, that kind of thing. But for the most part, dodged any major weather events. But one thing that did happen was that crops in the area with that plus 30 weather, and just the amount of heat that we had, those crops actually started to dry up a little bit, and the soils really started to dry up. And one thing that we think really saved this crop and really helped it along was actually having that thick organic matter layer from the Timothy stand that was here before. Having that layer on there really helped to hold in moisture, conserve moisture, and really help this crop through. It just did a bang-up job as far as pulling this crop through in those times of drought stress or lack of moisture, that kind of thing. Because really, even with the thunder showers that were building around here, they were very patchy. You didn't know where they were going to hit, what they were going to hit, and what was going to come out of them. Really, there was some extreme hail events that happened further north of here. But I think having that heavy thatch layer of that old Timothy stand here really helped to conserve moisture and retain moisture for this crop, and really helped it through. So as you can see, we got lots of good plants. We got lots of nice thick pods on there. It's going to be a well-producing crop, and really what this producer did was the dollars and cents that he would have put into going over this piece of land, breaking it up to form an adequate seed bed. He essentially put those dollars into fertility, which would have been needed, especially coming out of an old Timothy stand. As you know, with forages, all your nutrients are basically taken up and taken off the field, and nothing's replaced, unless of course you've got a grazing system in place where those cattle are moving some nutrients through themselves and back into the soil. But for the most part, with any forage situation, you're pulling nutrients out and you're basically mining that soil. So the producer knew that, and in this instance put a heavy dose of fertilizer down, because he knew he was going with a crop that was going to require a lot of nutrients as far as nitrogen was concerned. So he did that, and obviously it paid off. But it took him, it took him a quarter of the time, because he only had to seed it once, had to go over it once, and that was it. It's just an excellent stand. It's nice and thick. Doesn't look like there's been any major damage as far as as far as bugs are concerned or anything like that. Got away relatively lucky this year, especially from the reports we've been hearing across the prairies. And like I said, relatively lucky as far as any hail damage was concerned, considering the high heat, high humidity, and potential for thunderstorms this year, and especially hail events that did occur. We'll continue to watch this, but that's how things are going out here today. Thanks for stopping by.